Big, big, big.
In or out, it's your call.
There's no ref here.
That's on us.
Decisions like these are about trust.
That's spirit.
Not a slogan.
But to be fair,
Even when the game is on the line.
It's not easy.
Sometimes it gets intense.
Because spirit keeps the game bigger than the point.
Bigger than the call.
bigger than me,
It's how I know I can go all out.
and trust my opponent will too.
It's not just rules, it's respect.
Because when you respect the call,
You respect the player.
It's every decision you make.
Every conversation, every point.
It's the reason I compete at my best.
And when I have to make the call,
In or out.
I'll call it honestly.
Because spirit is the standard.
And we don't play below it.
Come on, Andy. Come on, Andy.
2026 Canadian Ultimate Championships, Day 3 here in Surrey, British Columbia. We are at the Newton Athletic Park in the junior phase of the tournament. I'm Clayton Howlett. This is Marie Mayotte, and we are here to bring you the, a crossover matchup in the, I would say the Ninals bracket here. What this is a chance for us to give you some regional diversity for a match that does mean something. We've got Khaos from Kelowna playing against Uproar from Ontario in our open division matchup this morning. What this game is for is basically it's validation for either team. You have one team, Uproar, that went 0-3 in their pool play yesterday in the top tier of the tournament, and they are now in this crossover to basically defend their placement and saying, yeah, we belong there to start, and now we can play for ninth. Or you have Khaos on the other side, which was in the second tier of the tournament. So they came into the tournament, best they could do was ninth based on being in the lower two pools. They won all their games, and if they were to win this game and be in contention for ninth, they can say, hey, maybe next time we should be in that top tier. So this will be an interesting game. It definitely means something to these players and these coaches to say this is where our team belongs. And at the same time, around the rest of the tournament, we've got other crossovers happening, which are essentially pre-quarter matchups in the top tier, and we'll be bringing you quarterfinal matchups later today. But for now, what we'll be showing you is this open division, sort of like, validation match for Ninals. Following this stream, there will be the women's division, kind of the same thing, with the same matchup in the numbers with Wheaties, and I want to say
Saga, that's right.
Saga, okay, yeah,
Yes.
for Wheaties and Saga in the following stream, same deal. So we'll have Uproar is going to be in light today. Khaos is going to be in blue. We've got some info from both teams we'll love to share with you once we get going here. Teams are just running out onto the field now, and we're about to get going. Marie, anything you're looking forward to in this match in particular?
I think both team want this match. This first crossover this morning is really important for both teams, so I think energy will be high, and we can feel it on the sideline right now.
Yeah, both teams got here early. Their warm-ups were standard. It's not like either team came into this thinking, oh, well, we're not going for gold, so what does it matter? No, both teams are here full on. Khaos, a team to, that they're kind of a conglomeration of some BC interior teams. They've got Kelowna, Grand Forks, player from Penticton, players from Summerland. So this is a chance for them to show up to nationals and make a mark and get some experience. Uproar, on the other hand, a feeder team for Toro, which is the A team out of Toronto. And, these players, I shouldn't say on the other hand, also here to get experience, when you're playing for that feeder team. If you want to make Toro or a competitive team as you age out, I mean, this is the place to get that experience. Kelowna in the blue, pulling. And that pull, a little miscommunication, will land inbounds at the very back, picked up by Albert Lee. Khaos coming down in a zone right away. We've seen teams come down in zones to stop pull plays right off the hop. Uproar doing a great job of moving the disc quick to try and get around this zone. Seemingly not stagnating on the sideline here, moving the disc across the field using that full width. Bearer plays a little pass with Cody. And while they're using the width of the field, Uproar still has not found a way to break through. Kelowna doing a good job containing this offense. But there's an upfield throw, finding the spot over the wing to Lucas Liu. He and Ho are able to get a give-go going. And that's down. Brendan Vance couldn't reel that in. Great defensive play there by Kelowna. Believe that was Cole Schlepp with the play. Uden. His pass is low, a little too low for Marshall Henderson. Or Kachuk, excuse me. Ferrer is going to throw it out to space. He's got players available. Brendan Vance is there. And his pass, a little low for Colin McKenna. Marie, we're seeing some chances here for both teams. Just a little shoddy execution so far.
I love to see the patience from Uproar at first, and they just need to calm down next to the end zone, but it's been nice.
This disc a little high, looked like the Kelowna receiver didn't know it was for him, so quick turnover, and Uproar, another chance at the hold. This is an O point for them. Lee goes around to Vance. And Vance will shoot that up the line to Lee. I liked the look, but once again, the throws are just a little, I want to say they're too tight. You know, everybody's just kind of rushing that a bit. They're not giving their they're making it hard on their receivers. Could be a little anxiety or just a little too much intensity off the hop here.
Yeah, in that red zone, it's easy to be excited to attack that zone.
Yeah. Kachuk moves that to Hughes. He digs himself up. He'll go back to Kachuk. Looking for options upfield. Eventually finds the under. Fielded well by Rusin, as that was very low to the ground once again. Kachuk wanted the option up line. Instead, looks for a reset. It's like too many people, though, coming back. Has to make a choice. Eventually finds Jack Uden. That throw had some pepper on it. Bounces out of the hands of Rusin. Ferrer about to pick up, directing traffic. Standing over the disc. You only get 3 seconds to do that before a stall count comes on. He's going to put this out to space. And taken with expert timing by Colin McKenna. So the dirty hold to start the game for Uproar. Marie, if you're Khaos, I think you're happy with that point. You didn't get it, but you're happy with that point. If you're Uproar, I think you're like, okay, great. We scored our hold, but I would not be pleased with that.
No, I think maybe the nerves came in. I think Chaos would be happy with their zone, which they put up initially. It was nice. They managed to make a lot, they force Uproar to do a lot of passes. So I think they're happy with their T point. For sure, they would have liked to use that momentum and try to score, but Uproar up 1. Everything's pretty good.
Everything's pretty good. There is something about streamed games or being on the showcase field that sometimes you need to get over that hump of excitement or anxiety or intensity, maybe a combination, all the above. But it does take some time to get over that just so you're ready to go. Pretty common. These teams perhaps didn't expect to be on the stream. It was a late decision made to have them out here, but they definitely have the energy on the sidelines here. I think that they don't seem nervous, right? I would say it's just they're almost trying to play too fast.
Yeah, really.
Woodhouse's pull. Up to Kurumi. He'll move that around to Phipps. Zone look from Uproar. Chaos seems okay with it. Finding ways to move the disc around quickly. That pass, while it could punish the zone by going over up to a wide open handler, it was short. Uproar now on the doorstep. Johnston goes around to Moores. And Uproar finds a way to punch it in with that turnover in the red zone. Now they're fired up. First break of the game. The score 2-0 for Uproar.
I feel like Uproar's zone at the beginning wasn't really nicely set up, but they managed to close things down and get the turn. So I'm pretty sure they're hyped up right now.
Hearing Coach Keith Kurumi, his son, number 5, out there, Sage, and I hear him just saying to his team, "It's so early. Chill.
Definitely.
We don't need. I'm just echoing what he's saying right now. We don't need anything fancy. It's so early. We need you here. We need your focus." On there, it's funny. Okay, I'm not calling out Keith here, but it does say on their info sheet, the team name is Chaos. Their cheer is "This is Chaos." They're laid back and get some fun, but I like his coaching right now. And just, saying that, hey, we don't need to rush it against that zone. And that was, again, I don't know if it was rushed. It was just, you could have taken your time with that throw. You could have worked a little bit harder for the around and taken something easier, right?
Yes.
It's just, we don't need to push it yet.
But I was impressed with Uproar's zone. It looked not really well installed at first, but then settled, and I think it did the job.
Offside on the fake pull. That was weird. So on the offside here, what they can do is elect to take it. So Chaos is going to take the offside here. I think Sage Kurumi is asking, what do I do? Nope. He did. All right. Well, the rule is on an offside, if you don't catch the pull, you can then take it at the brick mark, and later there's more field punishment. But a little confusion from everybody there. Thiessen and Kurumi play a little catch together. Number 14, Mason Greenhag, goes up the line and shoots. Henderson runs onto that with ease. And the easy hold for Chaos. They are now on the board, 2-1. So offsides. Only the defense can go offside. And the way they do that is by crossing the goal line before the pull is in the air. That pull was weird. He kind of faked his whole team.
Yes.
I don't know why he did that. Yeah, so you saw that offside very blatantly happen. So then if the offense doesn't catch it and they say, yeah, we're taking that, they first take it at the brick, the second offense at half, the third offense, don't know. I've never seen it go that far, actually.
Me
It
neither.
can't be the other team's brick. That would be.
I
mean, maybe it is. It is something that you should be penalized for. And if you keep doing it, increasing penalties makes sense. The offense, on the other hand, can also do a similar violation called a false start. So the offense at the beginning of a point, you often see them all standing in a parallel line. Everyone has their foot on the goal line. And if the offense moves off of that goal line before the pull is in the air, after they've signaled readiness, after they've put their hand in the air, it's a false start. And then they get pushed backwards where they have to take the disc. And they can eventually be taking it from the middle of the end zone. So that's a tough position to be in. And this pull is going to come down quick. Uproar sets up in a vertical stack. Once again, seeing the zone look from Khaos. And the second time that Uproar tries to punish the wing there, but that scooper a little too high for Jared Ballard. So Kelowna with their first chance at, or I guess second chance at a break here. This moves quickly, around against this match defense. Zachary Sill puts that up high for Edmund Leclerc. The foul called, he's saying I had that first. This is debatable. You can clap catch and say it was torn out of your hands, but it seems his defender agrees, so that is known as a strip. So Dove Malamed agrees, yeah, I think you had that first before I tore it out of your hands, and that is illegal. That pass, though, too high. And Uproar makes the play and shoots right away and gets the hold. We think we're just waiting for the signal here. That was number 34, Thomas Woodhouse, bringing it down. He was marked as a player to watch before this game started by Coach Adam. And we see it right there as he just times his strike there to punish the turnover.
I really like Khaos Uproar's fast break on a turn. They have already somebody deep, and it's been twice that they're taking advantage of it using that deep shot really fast after a turn. So good for them.
Yeah, and I mean that smart. If you can always keep the defense on the back step, that's important. So, and we're hearing some observers just, the observers always have a chance to do a little education here. Uproar's asking Khaos to ensure that everyone's standing on line ready to go, but they don't actually need to do that until they signal readiness. That's why the defense always has 20 seconds after the offense signals readiness to prepare. So, observers do a great job at this tournament of clarifying the rules for everybody. They're not so forgiving in the senior division.
Yeah.
They kind of look at you and they're like, what do you mean you don't know the rules? All right, this pull not offside this time, so Michael Hall just pulls the trigger immediately this time, so his team stays onside. Hiromi finds the inside, but it seemed that Brady Wagner-Harper saw that coming a mile away. Will he get the double happiness goal? He will. So he gets it done for his team. And you hear that delayed cheer from the sideline. Uproar players ensuring that the goal is confirmed by the observers. But great point for number 88. I mean, if I'm Coach Adam or Chris, Brady's going back out there after that. Run through D, score immediately?
Yeah, definitely.
You stay.
He's really hyped up.
Oh, I think they're taking him off. Ooh. Okay, well, Brady, I'm on your side. You deserve to stay.
Great run through the, great hitting the deep shot as well. So perfect play from Uproar.
So
that brings it to 4-1 for Uproar, up 2 breaks.
That's right. Thank you. I didn't update my score. So Uproar certainly has the momentum right now. I've seen some frustration from Khaos so far. They did, Khaos played games yesterday in their pool, and I was watching some of their games, and they athletically, timing, speed, they were kind of cut above their pool. They were just demolishing everybody with their athleticism and their speed. And now suddenly they have their backs up against the wall because they're playing against a team that it's like, oh, we are also fast and knowledgeable and have timing, right? So a little bit of adjustment for Khaos here. Perhaps the first time this tournament where they're feeling challenged. Greenhog will field the pull. Gets that around to the sideline, but now Khaos is trapped, but Schlepp is able to get it back to his handler core, but they still have it on the sideline. Greenhog finds the inside through to Phipps. Now Kelowna has some momentum as their players are ahead of the zone. They're out of bounds. Let's see if they realize. So Manuel is out of bounds here on the blue line. Uproar showing some good spirit, just saying, why don't we just take it here? This is where we all figured it out. Great spirit there from Woodhouse. Nico Morris decides not to shoot, has a wide open underneath to Yang. Yang flips that to Juricic, and a good pass, just a little behind his player. Perhaps not a great pass, and it's bobbled. And Khaos looking to immediately get it past the zone. Thiessen goes to Karomi, sticks around. Khaos electing to try and find the passes where there aren't very many defenders, and as they get it around the wing. Manuel, excuse me, finds Greenhog and goes up again over the top to Marshall Henderson. I want to put my coaching hat on for a second, Marie.
All right.
So if I'm Uproar right now, I'd say the zone against the handlers up front are Arrowhead or a Cup. I actually haven't figured out which one they're doing, but is okay. It's not bad. It's doing the job. You're getting a lot of lateral movement. They're not finding a lot of things through the middle. They do need to run faster to catch up to those give goes, but that just means try harder. Not a big deal. The wings, though. Khaos keeps going around the wing, kind of throwing these outside in throws. In other words, they're on the sideline and the throw starts out of bounds and then curves back in. So it curves around the defender who's playing in that midfield on the wing because the wings are too aggressive and they're coming in towards the disc, not guarding anybody. Exactly. They're not shoulder checking. They don't see who's behind them, and it's just getting punished over and over again. If Uproar locks those wings down, that is, they turn their back to the sideline, they can see right, left, so they can see towards the disc and towards the backfield and take out those receivers on the wings. I don't know what Khaos has after that.
I was surprised to see Uproar bring the zone again after that last turn. They seem tired. They seem to be struggling to follow the disc, so
yeah,
we'll see if they keep that up.
Lee fields the pull and flips that to McKenna. Another zone look from Khaos here. High stall, but they get it off. Khaos doing a good job with the wings in the zone here, or the shoulders in the zone here to try and cut off the next throw, but now Uproar showing some speed, trying to move it quick. Khaos still containing. Gorham tried to go up high, but it's David Hughes who goes even higher and gets that volleyball spike. Disc sails out of bounds. It's going to be Kachuk picking up. And he needs to bring it to the little orange pylon, signaling where the disc went out of bounds. Kachuk looking for Clark. Clark is there. He gets the around. Flip from Kachuk. They'll play a little give-go. That pass on the wrong line to Kachuk. So Uproar trying to get moving immediately as the defense is a little disorganized. Contested pass taken by Oliver Clark, just a little too high for Brady Wagner-Harper. Uden gets it off the side from his teammates' advice. And they move it up to Hughes. Bruson was able to move that upfield, but just an unfortunate drop. Seemed that Solano looked at that in disbelief. Uproar chucks it back, but misread by B. Khaos back with the disc. Clark moves that up to Rusin, back to Kachuk. Kachuk doing a lot of work to always be available. He's going to shoot. Will that come back in? It will not. So it looks like, though, there was a foul call on the throw. Marie, just based on the body language here, I think the argument is you contacted me as I threw, and B is saying, yes, I did, but that was on your follow-through. The disc was already out of your hands. I'd have to watch it back.
Yeah, that's exactly what he seems to be saying. I wasn't moving really towards you. Your backhand just hit me on your follow-through.
Yeah. So we'll see what they say here. Observers are right there, ready to make a ruling. They give it about 45 seconds. It's interesting seeing how the players are dealing with these calls, though. Was it B on the mark? He just left, and now it's Michael Ho and Kachuk talking. Who's the call on? Okay. A little confusion here. I am confused. Okay, so it was Ho who was the defender. B was on someone else. B went to go talk to his teammates. And this is contested, so the disc is going to come back and stay with Khaos. And we're waiting. And here we go. Kachuk looking for a reset. Has Rusin underneath. He has an open side backhand to Hughes. And it'll go back to Rusin. To Kachuk. They trying to give go, but there's too many people in the way. And another throw that's kind of off the line. Khaos having some problems getting organized with their vertical stack. And Rusin thought about a play there, but just not in time. McKenna throws the reset around. B puts that up high. McKenna taking it away from Khaos in the air again. He's done some great work in the air. Speaking of great work in the air, it's Brady Wagner Harper again. And goal. So a hold for Uproar. Khaos is there.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's hard to hold for Uproar, we'll say. Khaos had many great opportunities, but Uproar managed to get the point.
Yeah. This is one of those games, I mean, you look at the scoreline, it's 5-2, right? And you'd think if you're just tuning in now, oh, Uproar's clearly in control. They're not.
Oh, no.
You know, this is one of those competitive games where Uproar is where they're showing where they're better is that in the red zone, getting to the end zone, they are better with the disc. They are taking better shots, making better choices, tighter execution. They kind of struggled on that first point of the game in those areas, but they've since tightened that up, where Khaos, on the other hand, still hasn't locked that down, right? Both teams, though, still throwing some hucks that are to coverage, or at the very least kind of like very, very hard to field. But Uproar just performing better in the red zone. Greenhawk moves that to Hiromi. Familiar handler core here with Phipps and Schlepp moving it around. Big OY flick to break up the zone. We're hearing the fire call. That pass just a little low for Caleb Manuel. I mean, Khaos once again punishing that wing out of position, but just not a great throw that time. Jurcic moves it back to the sideline, and we have a big OI over to Johnston. And Jurcic goes and gets it back. Moores. Another big OI flick from Moores. I mean, it's working. They're trying to get it over top the zone. No win, so it's easy to do if you got that throw. Uproar just ahead of Khaos here. They're all behind. Jurcic looking for options, has Moores. patient with the disc is Uproar, looking off shots. Now have a give go. Moore's pass up high. And that's the one we're talking about, rushing that throw in the red zone and see what happens. Now, foul called against Khaos here by Thomas Woodhouse. We'll find out who made that play there. I'd say in this case, this is actually not a foul. Simply because Woodhouse didn't.
It looked like a clap catch and then a small contact afterwards.
Do you think he had it, though? I don't think he had it.
I think he had it,
Okay,
actually.
okay.
We'll see what comes out of it. So,
Okay,
he's
fine, you win.
keeping position. He'll bring it back to the front of the end zone.
This is interesting, though, because he's bringing it to the front of the end zone, that does signal it wasn't a strip. It was more of a different kind of contact, but he actually never had it. So we're both
That's right, yeah. Oh, there you go.
All right, and having it on the end zone gives you some ease to score. So John Yang brings it in, and that is a break for Uproar. 6-2, 3 breaks for Uproar this game, none for Khaos.
I feel like Uproar might have a slight height advantage. Like, they've got a few tall and really athletic players. I don't know if that's actually something that's important right now, but they seem to be using these big hucks a few times, and it's been working.
Yeah, Khaos has that too, but I would just say, like, those big receivers you're talking about on Uproar are clicking. They're
Yeah.
doing their job
Yes.
right now. Khaos really, we haven't found that from their big guys yet. But you know, in this timeout for Khaos, this is kind of difficult. I would say you have to jump the gap on defense here, whether you're starting on O-line or you're starting on D-line, whatever it is. It just seems Khaos is a step behind once Uproar starts moving their legs. There needs to be more effort just to get in front of your guy, even if it just means that he gets looked off on a pass or something. But all the momentum, the speed here is all Uproar. So, Khaos, you're in this timeout. You're probably thinking, hey, we need to just get moving with our legs here. Offensively, throw to the right line. Like, I don't know how else to say it. It's just the throws are behind or they're off to the side. They don't really know what they're looking for. So, you know, what would you say? I'm kind of stuck.
To Khaos?
Yeah.
I mean, they tend to follow the far sideline a lot. I would try to center back the disc more.
Yes.
I think that's where they've turned a few times. So that would be my
yeah, holding it on the sideline a little too long. Yeah,
my
okay.
coach
I'm with
is
you. I'm with you. Yeah. And if you're Uproar, I think it's just don't let the moment get away from you. You're doing well. You have the momentum.
It's
You have the
6-2, but
intensity. It's 6-2,
it's still everybody's game. So
yes,
don't be cocky.
Yeah, it's a little less early, right? You've played 8 points now. You know, you're doing far better than the other team. But it's, you know, I would say too, like with a feeder team like Uproar, what you don't have is the veterancy of like knowing what it's like to blow a lead.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Or knowing when you're taking your foot off the gas there. So Green Hog moves that up the field to Schlepp. No surprise to see Karomi get it back. His throw on the line properly. He'll get it right back. So now Khaos moving it upfield. His pass, a little confusion. Who was the receiver there? I felt like Henderson was open, but perhaps he thought it wasn't his turn to cut. Uproar is going to go right back with a big huck. Ooh. And well defended by number 26, Rylan Phipps. Karomi doesn't have Green Hog on the line. He'll come back. Like you've said, Marie, Khaos kind of gets stuck on the sideline here. What are they going to do about it? They'll go up to Karomi as he's open. Checks his toes. He's still in bounds. Thiessen, Green Hog. Thiessen. Henderson. So some quick movement by Khaos there. Gets them back in the game. You always, from a coaching perspective, There's a little bit of I'm not sure if ego is the right word, but you think I've just called this timeout. We're down. If we don't score, I'm going to look real bad. So big point there for Khaos.
I loved Khaos bringing the disc back to center and attacking from the center.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I proposed as
That's it,
coach,
yes.
and that's what they did. Beautiful look. Nice point.
I mean, you're also wearing kind of blue. You could just sneak in there next time out. But, yeah, Khaos needed that. 6-3. Did speak to Toro earlier, and when I was talking about that veterancy, they only have 3 returners from the year previous. And this is something, you know, you and I talked about this off stream, how it's so interesting in the juniors division.
Yeah, from
can-
one year to the next,
Yeah,
you can have a completely different team.
Yeah, completely different. And Uproar is a completely different team. They only have 3 players returning, you know, so like knowing how everything's going to go is difficult. There's a violation. I have no idea what it is. Oh, false start. So what
False
this
start from the
means-
O-line.
Yeah, false start from the O-line. So what this means is the defense gets to set up. And that can be very difficult when you're facing against a zone, but Moores gets it moving quickly. Juricic has had no problem getting through the zone, shows it right there as Uproar moves the disc around quickly. Woodhouse to Juricic. Belair getting lots of input from all the handlers. There's lots of choices. Moores has a wide open hammer to Johnston. And Uproar moving the disc quick. I could barely keep up as Dove Malamed reels in the goal. Seems that those Uproar handlers have really figured out how to deal with Khaos' zone look.
And that false start did not bother them at all.
No, it did not. So what happened? Okay. So
That was some fast play.
yeah, that was some best. I did the best I could. That was quick. And I mean, that's great though, right? If we, you know, I would just say from this perspective, you don't have time to look down because it's like one player to the next to follow the play. Bang, bang, bang. That is great zone offense. I do think perhaps it's time for Khaos to say, should we try a different look? They've come down zone every time. I'm actually asking myself why. They did seem they were a step behind earlier, but sometimes when you come down in a match defense and you know, okay, I'm just playing one-on-one off the hop, I don't have to go assess, find a check, figure out who's dangerous, and then find my guy. I'm just like, no, off the hop here. I'm on this dude. I'm gonna win the race. I'd probably make that adjustment for Khaos' D-line.
We've seen again the fake pull, but this time no offsides.
Would bother me so much. Karome has an under and gets it right back from Schlepp. Manuel, he and Thiessen will play a little catch. Green Hog has been a dependable reset who gets it to the other dependable reset, Karumi. Khaos' handler core showing some more patience this time as they're comfortable going back to the resets. Trying organizing into a stack while that's happening. Green Hog is able to reset the count and then find Henderson. Henderson looking for a reset. Punches it over to Karome. He's not in. Asking for a stack. He wants some organization. He and Green Hog again, controlling it together. And Karome's inside throw, tighter this time on the right line to give Khaos the point. He's been calibrating that this game. It's been defended pretty much all the other times he's thrown it. And that one, I got to say, I kind of, you know, just did a little as soon as he went for the windup. But he seems to have got that one now and makes for the easy goal. 7-4. hearing a lot of communication from Khaos out there. Heard them call the vertical stack. You know, they heard them calling for resets, asking people to get out of the way. You like to see that. I'd say it's at this stage of your season in this tournament, you probably it would be ideal if you didn't have to do that and then wait for your players who you want to get organized, process it, and then get in position, thereby losing 5 to 10 stalls. You want to say stack, and everybody's like, yep, bang, we're in it.
We know what we're going to do.
But it seems everybody's like, oh, yeah, right. Tough for a team that is not just one city, right? We have a lot of teams at this tournament that have lots of players from all over, and they have to figure out how they're going to work together and communicate just through pool play. Moore shoots right away. No one is on a wide open Dove Malamed. Khaos players turning around saying, what did we do?
They brought out their match defense, but somebody was forgotten.
Yeah, blown coverage there. So 8-4, that brings us to half. Uproar over Khaos. We're going to jump off the stream real quick here, run some ads, and then we will be bringing you some interviews with players, 1 or 2, or maybe none if the teams want some serious halftime talks. But you can stay tuned for that, see if it comes on, or you can come back in 7 minutes for the second half of this crossover game from Toronto's Uproar and Kelowna's Khaos.
Looking for a reason to quit. Let's give it to them.
They both started when
Here for another halftime interview, I'm joined with Nico Moores from the Moores Ultimate Family in Toronto. Nico, I'm hearing some chatter about you being young somehow.
Yeah, I just turned 15 and I'm the youngest on the team, but I was actually the flag bearer for Ontario at the parade or whatever.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
How does it feel being on a team like this, competing? I mean, you're a core handler on this team. You're obviously in a position where you're doing a lot and everything. Is there much of a dynamic you're finding with that age thing? Everybody just like whatever.
No, it's like totally fine. Like everyone's chill with it, and like I'm great friends with all of them, and it's so fun, and we're playing well.
Yeah, you are playing well. Yesterday you had a tough pool. You went 0-3, and now you're coming into a game and you have the lead. Is there an energy shift with the team, or is this more like, hey, we know we can do this? Like, what's the vibe?
I think we just didn't let ourselves like get down on ourselves after the tough losses, but we knew that we'd be playing here and that we were all excited for that and that we knew we could win this game. So
That's
okay.
great. Last thing, what are you going to do in this second half to close out the game here? Any adjustments you want to make? Like, there's a huddle happening over there. What do you think they're talking about?
I think they're probably saying just to keep it the same, that we've been playing great and keep taking those open looks and the easy passes and keep scoring.
That's fantastic. So, Nico Morris for Uproar, giving you the lowdown on how they're going to win this game, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
Cheers. We'll be back in a second with another interview from Khaos captain.
Thank you.
All right. Second halftime interview here with Oliver Clark from Kelowna's Khaos.
Yes.
Oliver, I had a chance to watch some of your games yesterday, and your team. I've read that your cheer for the team is, this is Khaos and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
The vibe is to be a fun team and then do cool stuff.
100%.
How's that going?
Well, yesterday we were in a lower pool. We didn't too great at provincials, but hey, we're here. You can't be mad about it. But yesterday was a bit of a different vibe. We were having a good time. We weren't polishing everything we needed for today. We knew this was going to be tough coming into it. They're better than the teams we played yesterday, and we knew that coming into it. But I think we're just kind of realizing it, especially this first half. We just need to communicate more, heading up on defense. Our O-line's starting to get into it, but just keep the vibes high. Try not to get down on ourselves. I think it's something that our team struggles with. So
Goal-wise, I mean, you're saying all these things. We're going to make these adjustments, and here's what we want to do. Goal-wise, have we exceeded or met our goals yet, or are we still striving for them? Like,
I think especially this game, we're trying to get to our goals. I think so far we've exceeded them. Like, we didn't know. I personally didn't have any expectations coming into this. You know, we're a newish team. This is the first year playing together. Our Grand Forks boys and Kelowna boys and all over Okanagan.
Right.
But we won all games yesterday. Hoping to climb to the second bracket, and
that sounds great.
It's exciting.
I think you covered it all.
Yeah.
I mean, teams are getting back out there. I'm getting the side eye from one of your coaches, so I better send you back. But anything you want to finish on? Any shout outs? Anyone you want to say hi to?
My parents, they're coming down. We're going to go to a concert on Wednesday, so I'm pretty excited. But I'm just so happy for everyone who put on this event. It's my first year at CUC, so it's truly something special. Honestly, it's really cool, and I just appreciate everyone that's helping out. So
Well,
thank
good
you so
luck.
much. Thank you.
Thanks so much. We are moving quick out of the interviews here right into an offensive point from Khaos. And it is no surprise to see Uproar come down in a zone. But Khaos, as Oliver Clark said, O-line is starting to figure it out, and they are moving the disc quick here. And now finding the gaps once again in Uproar's defense. Earlier that was the wings, but now it seems that Khaos can see the other areas where they can take easier shots. The over-the-tops haven't been great, but Kuromi's hammer gets over to Phipps with ease. As Greenhawk has Kuromi and Khaos just coming out of half here with a different kind of speed and energy. Greenhawk with the around backhand and a goal for Khaos. That is number 26, Rylan Phipps with the goal. That must feel good for Khaos coming out with that kind of fire out of half. Can they sustain it? That's always the big question. You have a big talk at halftime. You get fired up, you get the point, and then what, Marie?
You need to just keep calm and keep it in. I loved Khaos's look on this. They were patient. They moved the disc around. They went on top, and they managed to punch in the goal. So this is an 8-5 game. It's still anybody's game, actually. If Khaos can hold it together, they're still in this match.
Yeah, and they have to be looking at the other team saying, okay, like, we haven't scored any breaks against Uproar yet. They've scored 3 on us, and we're down 3. It's not something teams can't do, right? They do. It seems they do recognize as a group that they are playing a strong. Like Khaos is playing a stronger team, but they also seem to have that attitude of like that doesn't really matter. We just perhaps need to adjust for that. So, kind of been the story of this game that we've been talking about.
Yes.
So this pull is going to come from Rusin. Both teams signaling readiness. Looking to stay onside. They do a good job of it that time. But that pull is going to sail out of bounds, which means it can be taken at the brick mark, midfield, about 15 yards outside of the end zone. That'll be Owen Ferrer bringing it to the middle. Not sure if you can see the contrast on the camera, but the brick is marked with a blue X in the middle of the field. So Ferrer will go there. He's looking for options underneath. Instead, has a slash cut to Cow. He'll go back around to Ferrer. No options underneath. Needs a reset. It's kind of late from Lee, and the throw is misexecuted, I suppose. So is now Kachuk with the disc. Uden finds Hughes. Uden again has Kachuk as a reset. He'll make a little juke and get it from Uden. He looks upfield immediately, wants the inside. That's Harvey Pusher making a mark here. First time in the game we've said his name, and it's a break, no less. Khaos now showing lots of energy. Their first break of the game, and the score is 8-6. Like you said, Marie, nothing is over. This is anybody's game.
Yes, and that's what Khaos needed coming out of the second half. A break, and they are hyped up.
Now, talking to Nico Moores, it was interesting because he said, well, I think we'll be consistent. We'll keep it going. Keep doing what we're doing. It's working. Certainly not a point now where Uproar has to freak out.
Definitely not. It's just one break. They can keep the possession. We'll see on how it's going. Khaos came out with a match defense, so I don't know if that's something that's going to help them on the second half.
Yeah, something I wanted to see, if they could get organized and kind of have a shift in mindset of what are we going to do with this match defense, of course. So, I think if they can keep the pressure out, they'll have some success with that. But Uproar showing us that they have the wheels too. I mean, if they're like, oh, okay, they're pushing us a little bit now with this match defense, we just need to run harder, which they've shown us they have the legs for us. It'll be Morris picking up on the sideline here. It bounced out of bounds. So, nope, it landed out of bounds, excuse me. So it will be taken at the brick mark. Jurcic sets up in the reset. He's been a very dependable handler in the back to get the disc at high stall counts, but his pass just through the hands of Jared Belair. It seemed Belair just mistimed that clap catch. Kachuk. Looking for options. Going to go to Clark. Clark asking players to come in. They're pretty far away, but Rusin is there. He looks for the give-go, doesn't like it, goes to Kachuk. Chuck fakes the hammer. Has a wide open pet cow. And he'll move it around to Kachuk. Hearing chilly calls from the sideline. Everybody is holding their breath a little bit as Uden is going to put this up to space. And number 50, Harvey Pusher, once again making a mark. Tried the greatest. I think he was out of bounds the whole time, so it wouldn't have mattered. He hadn't reestablished himself as an inbounds player. I like the idea of throwing that pass, but it seemed like it was too late. Like the defenders were there, and then it was too far.
I would have liked to see the disc re-centered again, but good break opportunity from Khaos.
Malamed maxed that to himself as it was a little high, but fielded well. Moores in power position will unleash. Woodhouse has been the big receiver and won with the goal. Goes up early to seal the deal as Kachuk was hot on his heels. That's a hold for Uproar. The score now 9-6.
Some fast play from Uproar again, and the deep look. So that's been working very well for them.
Yeah, Thomas Woodhouse timing on that huck was kind of perfect. Nico Moores went up the line, got it in. Well, I said power position, referring to the fact that he had momentum moving forward when he caught the disc, and he can use that forward momentum to put into his windup in the throw, and it makes throwing far way easier. And Woodhouse just had the timing to take off, recognizing that Moores was going to be in that power position. So, that's the sort of timing you want to see from your players. You work on developing that in juniors, of knowing when to go. It's very difficult to be good at throwing static hucks when you have no momentum and throwing far, and throwing dots. Very, very hard to do when you're been looking downfield for a little while. And also the defense can usually get a line on that. If you get in power position and throw right away, the defense doesn't know where the disc is. Okay, no double pump here on the pull from Cheng Sabi, so we're all staying on side, and it seemed that Mason Greenhog had an idea and then tried to holster it, but could not, so it falls out of his hands. Ferrer gets us to the middle to an undefended Michael Ho. He looking for options. Ferrer gets the up line from Eden Cow. Thinks about going out round to space. But instead, B goes up the line with momentum. He fakes the hammer. He can find another player going up line. Michael Ho turning on the Jets. And Maria, I'd say that is Uproar's response to getting pushed against the match defense there. Just using the wheels.
That's a break for Uproar, up 10-6 now, and I don't know if Khaos will have the time to do a comeback now.
Oh, that's a good point. So these rounds are 75 minutes until soft cap, 85 minutes until hard cap. We'll talk about what those mean if we get to one, but point is, they've got, I'm mathing, about a half hour. Help.
Well, we're 55 minutes into this game, so they've got 20 minutes to soft cap.
All right, thank you. I'm not caffeinated enough yet. So 25 minutes to soft cap. That isn't, well, it's not bad.
It's not bad, but it's not great.
Impossible. But it's not great because it's the pressure.
Definitely.
Right? It's the pressure. It's like now we have the added thing breathing down her neck, which is the clock,
Yes.
right? So,
And every point is really important right now. So this next point and then the one after will be crucial for Khaos.
Romy centers that to Green Hog. A little bobble there. Another, but maintaining that focus. Rome finds that inside through. Now he's off to the races. Excellent quick movement from Karomi. I feel like Khaos has got to rely on that a lot. Keep him in the feature. He's finding the holes through. That hit the ground. So we're hearing up calls, we're hearing down calls, but Team Orange is going to come in here and explain to everybody that that was very down. But who am I to say? But you viewers can roll it back on YouTube if you want to have a look. But Marie, you had that bouncing, right? I'm not crazy.
Actually, I'm not sure.
Oh, if I'm wrong again, all right. Well, we'll see. Yeah, I'm getting the VAR signal from the Uproar sideline here. I wish we had that capability, but we do not. It's contested, so it will go back.
It will go back.
I disagree, but I'll leave it at that.
I think it was actually dug out pretty good. So
You're just saying that because you're going to be right again.
I think just going back is a good decision right now.
Romy's hammer over to Phipps works. Centered to Greenhog. We're still seeing a zone look from Uproar here, putting this pressure on. Kind of hard to play against the zone when you have no backfield to work with as you run out of space. So kind of counterintuitive, but Thiessen now trapped on the sideline. He'll just move that across to Greenhog. Romy goes over the top. Phipps elevates early just in case, but he was all alone. Romy's left alone. Uproar unwilling to melt into a match defense. They're noticing that it's just lateral movement. They're okay with this. Romy trying to get it around. That has Thiessen to reset the count. Now Karomi goes over the top with a hammer to Phipps. Phipps to Thiessen coming all the way around. Romy outside of the end zone. Roar keeping this zone. Great job containment. You forced a lot of throws, but Karomi elevates early to bring it down. Goal for Khaos. The score 10-7. So
kind of surprised to see that zone being kept till the end zone.
Okay, I'm not.
You're not?
No.
All right.
Because it's actually been a thing that I found in college and juniors happening a little bit more is, zone's interesting because when you do it when a team has it on the brick, like after a pull, right, or anything like that, you have lots of space, lots of field that you have zones for that you need to cover, right? Yeah. The deep has hard work to do. The wings have hard work to do. But as the field compresses, now you have three defenders, the two wings and the deep, who can come in and cause a lot more traffic in front and force these harder throws. The cup and the mid can get a lot tighter, put way more pressure on the resets, poach on the resets to make them harder and everything. And teams don't practice against that. That's the thing.
That's
it's a
true.
strategy that it's like, we don't deal with this enough, and teams don't really realize having those three deep defenders suddenly very in your face.
Yeah.
Right? And suddenly having a cup that doesn't care, that didn't care about your lateral throws, suddenly all over them, it's a switch that you're not expecting, and it's been a new thing. No, they have to go. A little rule confusion here. There was an offside, and it's not. It has to hit the ground, and then you accept the offside. You can't just stop play. So Uproar doing the right thing here and just playing through. B, middle of the field. Moves that over to Ho. The two will play some give and go. He fakes up. He'll reset that around to Ho. Perhaps they'll play with someone else. No, they will not. B elevates and takes that. Now just outside of the end zone. Oh, he had Ho up line, but instead he throws the hammer to Wagner Harper. Big receiver in the end zone for Uproar this game. Cow. His pass behind the momentum of Michael Ho. So Kachuk will pick up a break opportunity for Khaos. Bruson has Pusher. Rusin asks for it right back and gets it. Kachuk. Looking for options. That pass dug out by David Hughes. He wants a reset, finds Uden. Uden has Petkow. Chuck comes around with the jam cut for the reset. Has Clark wide open. Clark gets up. Over to Pusher. Pusher has the flick ready to go. It's up over one's head, everybody's head, excuse me, to Uden. And B is saying there was a call. I don't understand what it is. Oh, no,
That's
you
a
know what?
pick.
He's pointing to the stack that there was a pick call on the stack. Excuse
Yeah.
me. Okay, so yeah, this is legit. I thought he was making the call. I got confused.
Yeah, the cut came from the middle of the stack, and
Yeah.
for sure that's
Yeah.
dangerous.
Yeah. So actually, Chingsu B helping his team out and everybody see the call. My bad, number 8. This often happens in a vertical stack in an end zone where, a pick happens very early, but people play on and they don't hear it. They get the goal and they're like, what are you talking about, right? Very hard to roll back after getting a goal because, just emotionally. Team Orange. There. Pick called. And I suppose we agree we're content with that coming back to Pusher.
This is why we train double score. I don't know if that's something you do out west.
Yes,
but
yes, it is. Yeah, double score, the drill where you play a scrimmage as per normal, and once you get the goal, neat. Then you walk it back out, and you have to score again in your end zone set. And a great drill for training these situations. Just have a clinical end zone system. Clark has Kachuk up the line. He has lots of space, but the throw is high, and Uproar is all over it. Cal will bring this up. Force towards us. Opportunity for a big backhand. He takes the shot. And keeping his toes in, Brady Wagner-Harper. Great field awareness there to keep that alive. Ho now has the disc in the middle. He'll move that to Cody. And his OI is thrown out of bounds. So that was close. Bree, I like that choice, but perhaps just didn't see the sideline. I'm not sure.
Yeah, the lines are not so easy to see once you're on the field, and but great movement nonetheless.
Khaos looking to punish the poach to Petkow, but he bobbles it. B picks up, elects not to take the quick shot, and the timeout calls from the sideline were loud. So Eden Cow hears that, and Uproar takes the timeout.
I think that's a really great decision. Nice position right in the middle of the field and on the end zone line, ready to just do a nice set play and punch it in.
You have 2 per half, right? So you're not you have money to play with here, as they say, and at the same time,
time's on their side.
And time's on their side. Very good. Yeah, why not? And perhaps you're just thinking, my players have been a little bit jumpy. Settle, we'll chill.
Yeah.
Now, I would make the argument, though, Uproar had more players than Khaos in the end zone there. They had options.
Yeah.
Like that was more of a scenario outcome. Like, you talk to your players about the scenario. This is when it's a good time to take a timeout. This is when I'll be telling you to take a timeout, is when we get a turn on the end zone line, and we've been a bit jumpy. But I don't know. I feel like Cow actually could have just thrown the goal, because what the difference here is, Uproar had all those players in the end zone. They had the numbers. Now they won't. Everybody will be matched up. And as they're setting up, this is definitely going to be an ISO to number 8, Chengsu B, unless they're doing something stealthy here where they change it. But this end zone set with 3 in the back, 1 in the front, and then 3 handlers out. Seeing this as a system appearing more and more in play to set up the one-on-one. Khaos sets up some poaches to try and stop it. And this is what I'm talking about. The defense was ready. You got to take a harder shot with the around break. So Khaos now gets it back. Kachuk gets up early. He's looking for some options. Has Clark, who sticks around to bail him out. Wants the under to Petcow. Instead, Kachuk comes across. Little disorganization here from Khaos in the stack. Too many people cutting at once. Clark tries to elevate to get it, but instead, Usin bails everybody out. Uden, excuse me. Kachuk has Petcow. That inside is on the mark. Kachuk gets it right back. Timing from Khaos in the vertical stack just a little late. They're winning with their legs, luckily, though. Just Clark does there. Rusin calls for the shot. And he turns on the Jets, leaving his feet with the two-handed catch. He jumped, turned sideways, both hands on the disc, and protects the disc from the ground contact. That is a lot to think about as you are pushing off with that back foot to get the height. So a great ultimate play there from Jacob Rusin.
And that was a long point, but it was a break from Khaos, bringing it 10-8. So this game is not over.
No, and time-wise, I mean, we were talking about that earlier. A little less pressure, suddenly, right?
Yes.
2 points.
Yeah.
And
2-point game, yeah.
Yeah.
Khaos showing they can break. So they've got 2 breaks to
4.
Uproar's 4.
Yeah. So that does mean Uproar still does have the advantage. You know, they're starting on 0. They're up 2 breaks. You know, if you could say from a coaching perspective, all we have to do is trade, but that's also a trap. Saying all we have to do. You never do all you have to do. You have to push.
And this crossover game is not a time to just do the bare minimum. This is where you want to pull it all out.
Jerome's ball. Sails far to the sideline. Will it hold its edge? No, it doesn't. So this will be brought to the brick by Nico Moores. And seeing a match defense here. Khaos disorganized. We don't know who has who. It seems they had specific matchups, and Kachuk didn't know who he had. So Uproar has a bit of a freebie here to get going. And Juricic is going to go around to Moores. They'll play together. Juricic and Moores have had such good chemistry together this game on their line. Running what seemed like a dominator because of the deep stack, but instead they get it to Woodhouse, and he shoots. And Colin McKenna went up early. He kind of had to, as there were defenders in the area, but it was just off his fingertips. And Chuck will bring it to the line. Deep vertical stack. Nobody's cutting. Hearing a lot of go calls from the sideline, but nobody's there. So Kachuk's going to look for the reset to Karomi. Karomi needs to make a cut open. It's not there. Down called, but it was a defensive turnover anyway. So this will be a goal for Uproar. Kelowna kind of confused about what just happened, and that was all legitimate by rule, or perhaps just upset with each other about what they were doing there. But it seemed that the I would say the cutters made cuts expecting to get the disc, and when they didn't, they stopped running.
And they missed a few seconds once the disc was in play. Like for 2-3 seconds, we could hear the cut, go, and there was no movement from Khaos. And I think that really did not help.
I find when I'm coaching, let's call them freshmen, first years in university, one of the things we work on in September, and it doesn't take very long because players learn quickly, but is this notion of yeah, you've just made a great cut, and it was fast, and you were open, and you're calling for it. And you've got your hands out, and you should have got it, and you didn't. And so what'd you do? You looked disappointed, and you stopped running. And all that serves is your own frustration and an advantage to the defense. And,
Yes.
you know, it's something you want to train out of your players of just like turn something that didn't work into something else, make one cut into a better one. But 23, Cole Schlepp kicking the disc, apologizing immediately. Didn't mean to do it. Greenhawk's going to shoot right away. And Marshall Henderson wasn't taken by anybody. And it seems Juricic is complaining that the disc was kicked, but then, you know, the observers are saying, no, he took it back and tapped it in.
He took it back, yeah.
This, okay. Was there, okay. This is something I want to follow up with the observers. They can say the kicking was a violation, but if no one called it at the time, and then they agreed that he would take the disc back, and he did.
And he put it in play.
And he put it in play. You can't call the violation after the fact saying, I didn't see it was put back in play after the goal scored. It seems like it's far too late to make that call.
I think some players did
yeah,
not see that he brought it back and put it in play.
So I think that's probably what Juricic is saying, and I also understand that perspective. So I don't know. I'm kind of on Khaos' side on this one. Juricic had all full rights to say violation. You didn't tap it on the ground. But yeah, so if play starts and no one calls violation at time, and then they want to retroactively apply it, I don't think that's fair. So, you know, the observer's kind of covering this with the players. See some discussions, but very important ultimate that when you see it, when you feel there's been a violation of the rules, that you call it immediately, retroactively trying to apply a call, or when you're confused and you think play shouldn't be continuing, and then you play it out and then try and stop it later, always leads to these situations. So Juricic could have said, no, hey, you guys are still playing. I don't think we should be violation, and let that hawk play out. It would have come back, but can't go play defense and then say, I think there was a violation.
Good thing this match had some observers to explain the rules, and then everybody seems
yes, you're right.
Good with this call.
I feel like had we not had observers, we could be chatting about that for another 10 minutes.
Yes.
Especially in a tight crossover game.
Yeah.
I mean, your emotions get in the way.
They'll
They do
be
for
able-
everyone. It's nothing personal, but certainly the way it would go.
Uproar will be able to watch the stream again and see that it was nicely put back in play at the right spot. So 11-9 for Khaos. Not for Khaos, for Uproar, sorry.
Jerome's pulled this time will stay in bounds. They come down in a match defense. Uproar starts in a vertical offense. Nobody on Wagner Harper, so he gets a quick pass off the front, looking for Morse. Morse immediately looks to Juricic. No surprise there. But instead is able to find Johnston out of the stack, who flips that to Wagner Harper. Morse with the jab step. Gets it back. Looks for the around. Juricic, who does some work in front, back and forth, and gets the disc. He puts that out in front of Johnston. And he wants it back. Johnston running out of time. Moore is able to stick around and help out. Sees the hammer call from Woodhouse, and just throws the dot. So Uproar with the hold. The score, 12-9. So it should be said, Nico Moore is something I didn't ask him about in the halftime interview, but he's also a captain on the team.
He's young captain, has been the main handler. I mean, I'm really impressed with this kid.
I mean, it shows you what sort of leadership you can employ when you're confident and, you know, like intelligent with the disc, and you work hard that, you know, it's the other players respect you.
Yes.
You know, then the age doesn't come into play there, and that's a really cool thing to see. Certainly not what we are used to in this division. It's usually your quote unquote elders, you know, your players that are in their last year of high school or, you know, just turning 18 soon or that sort of thing that are the ones leading the team. So,
But once again, he's on the line.
center O-line handler.
Yeah.
I mean, that says something. His brother was on the stream yesterday, or the day before yesterday, in our showcase game playing for Toro. This pull fielded by Greenhog. It moves its way around to Karomi. Yes, Thiessen underneath. He had a few receivers underneath. Thiessen was there. Reset to Karomi in the backfield. Trapped on the sideline, but gets it around. Eventually ending up with Thiessen, who's going to go, well, he's looking back to Greenhog, doesn't like it. Has Karomi on the jam cut. Khaos finding some room through the middle. Henderson now will go back to Karomi. Hearing some calls for a pass in the end zone, but not coming to the disc there is Schlepp, and Uproar makes the defensive play. B looked like he was in power, going to throw, but holstered when he was marked. Moores now gets this over to Woodhouse. And B's hammer is going to be contested. And not surprised to see the foul call here. 100% a foul against Khaos. I mean, if you are going to make a defensive play and contact's going to happen no matter what, the offense usually has a very good case of calling that. I like that, you know, Phipps did make the effort to get in there. His line had to be a little bit towards us in order to avoid that contact. And I certainly think in the process of the catch by McKenna, that contact interfered with it one way or another. So
I think you're going to be right on this one.
Oh, I got to be right on one of them, okay? Drive me a little crazy. It's my worst stream of the weekend so far when it comes to my my calls on what should happen. So,
but there was a long floating hammer, so yeah, contact will be, well, I mean, it's going to be contested for sure.
So it seems that this is going to stay with McKenna. Going to tap the disc in to put it back in play. McKenna will take that outside of the goal and then has a wide open Woodhouse, who is, excuse me, that was Jared Belair with the goal. Sorry, Jared. But he recognized that he had no check and could get open very quickly in the side of the end zone. Uproar yelling, what's better than a hole? The break. And that is a break. The score now 13-9. Timeout taken by Uproar, gaming the clock here a little bit as we are, I would say, 6 minutes. No, longer than that.
I think, no, 6 minutes.
6 minutes?
To hard cap.
I just got to trust myself. 6 minutes to hard cap. But what that means is that we were in soft. Therefore, this will be a game to 14.
14, yeah.
But, you know, it's not going to be because I'm not going to be right. Just watch. just watch. That's what's going to happen. But if we are indeed in soft, this should be a game to 14. Otherwise, it will be a game to 15. So this timeout kind of gaming the time here. You can take timeouts in caps based on that time. This is at this point, I would say a sure win for Uproar. There's no way that Khaos is scoring 5 points to take the lead with 5 minutes left, simply thanks to the time between polls.
No, exactly.
Right? Yeah, I mean, if you were to score in 10 seconds, if you were to score a break in 10 seconds over and over and over, you would still lose, 4 minutes just between polls. So I don't think it's possible. Uproar's out of timeouts, though. That was their last one to burn the clock. So But I think this is pretty clear at this point.
But if I'm coaching Chaos, I want to keep their energy high. So I want to finish on a strong note against this great Uproar team. So no matter the score, I think they need to come out and do some great frisbee.
Yeah, they're not done.
They're not done.
You have games after this, right? Chaos has had a great showing this game too. I mean,
They have to be proud of the way they played. So
yeah, you don't want to get blown out in this game. You want to make a mark, and they've certainly done well. Romy has Greenhog around. His under is a laser to Schlepp, and it bounces off his hands. Juricic gets that around to Moores, getting used to saying that as they continue to play together. And got a little too casual. And no step around or pivot on the throw. And that is to the wrong side of Moores. Karomi picks up. This time, 23. Schlepp reels it in. Schlepp is looking for Karomi, who's able to watch his feet as he makes that catch, and that is in. So that is the hold for Chaos. The score, 13-10. So 9:52.
Uproar now on O has the opportunity to just finish this game right now.
Oh, that's right. Soft. Yes. So if Uproar scores, this will be it. Chaos has to basically get as many breaks as they can. In a world where Chaos can score 2 more points before the horn goes, this game would continue without Uproar.
Yes.
Right? So,
but then we're getting to hard cap as well. So
but with the hard cap, you see, like, the score's 13-10, right?
Yep.
If they can get to 12 before the horn, so that's, I don't know.
3 minutes.
3 minutes. I mean, if they can score 2 goals in 3 minutes, the score would be 13-12, and then the hard cap would be on. But they'd have to finish that point.
Yes.
And then they could tie it, right? So, tall order.
Tall order.
order.
We'll start with this one.
Moores has Ferrer around. Ferrer's going to shoot. This is going to hang. The tall pet cow is back there with 2 Uproar players, and he gets the D. So, playing with some urgency is Chaos. It's Pusher underneath, just shy of half. Over to Cash Babbings. He'll move that around to Clark. Clark looking for options. Finds a receiver. Was Edmund Leclerc, but his pass to Sill is a little too floaty, and Uproar capitalizes as they move the disc across. Wagner Harper now has B in the middle. His pass also a little floaty, and Leclerc is there to make the play. Clark moves that over to Pusher. Pusher. As Babbings in the middle. Babbings throwing some fakes. Doesn't like the up line. Finds the reset to Clark. Had the around to Pusher. Didn't like it. Instead, he'll throw it to Petcow. And Petcow bobbles it. Unfortunate.
Slipped just right through his hands.
Yeah. And seeing a zone look from Chaos here. Perhaps an exercise in practice, but now with the time, Chaos really needed to score after that first possession, but
I guess they want to have a quick turn near the end zone, hopefully.
Yeah. Morris is going to go with a high over the top in the end zone. Scary in Callahan country, but no defenders around to put pressure on that.
We just heard the horn for the hard cap.
Yeah, so it'll be finish the point, finish the game. Shad didn't like that look, so moves it back to his handler core. Ferrer looking for options. Went for Moores, but it was thrown over his head and too short for Will Shad. So Khaos on the doorstep looking for a reset. Clark is there. And Clark does not like his execution. As that
Right off
throw-
the throw, he
Yeah.
yelled out, not happy with that throw.
Yeah, so throwing that very far in front of all of his receivers, and that goes out the side. Teague is going to set the mark here as Khaos elects to stay with their zone look, but Ferrer's got a wide open up the line and shoots. Wagner Harper in the end zone. And once again, Petcow getting in the way. Can't teach tall. Teague has to dig that out of the ground and bobbles it. B picks up and takes his time.
These
Well, maybe
teams,
not.
they don't want to finish this game.
Clark finds the clerk underneath. Over to Petcow. Petcow has Sill up the line. Sill throws the inside, and that's dug out of the ground by Pusher. The score 13-11, but that will be the final, as there's confirmation that there's no call. So Khaos ending on a high note with the goal, but that is game. Uproar with the win. So Uproar validating that they did belong in the top end of this tournament by winning this crossover. Kelowna having a very close showing of punching up out of those bottom two pools in the tournament. So a great match to bring you, a tight one here in our first round of the day. Next round, we're going to be featuring the same stakes in our women's division between Saskatchewan's Wheaties and Ontario's Saga. And on the stream next, Marie, that'll be you and Kat. So,
That's right.
Viewers, stick around. That stream will be coming on at 10:30. We'll be back with you soon.